This bill, the Human Tissue Amendment Trafficking in Human Organs Bill, fills a gap in New South Wales laws. In fact, it's a gap in Australian law. Currently, there's nothing on the statute books anywhere in this country that makes it a crime for someone to leave Australia, go to somewhere like India or China, and get a grossly unethically sourced human organ, a kidney from somebody in deep poverty, or an organ from an executed prisoner, maybe a prisoner of conscience. Receive the organ and then come back to Australia and live as though nothing happened, as though nothing was wrong. But we think that should be a crime on our statute books, and that's what this bill would do. Well, we know from the National Donation Register that there have been at least 176 Australians, approximately half of those from New South Wales, just since 2001 have travelled overseas, obtained an organ overseas and come back to Australia. And of course, that probably grossly underestimates the number who have gone, because many have gone and not returned. And the best evidence is that at least half of those organs would have been received in what we would consider illegal or grossly unethical circumstances in Australia. This is a growing problem. We have countries like China who are setting in place an enormous industry designed around organ transplants and sourcing their organs, we know, overwhelmingly from unethical sources, many of them from executed prisoners, and prisoners who are being executed simply because of their faith, their belief in Falun Gong, or they may have a political view that is opposed by the Chinese government. And they're being executed effectively to order and their organs provided. But it's not just China. We see countries like India and Pakistan, Egypt, the Philippines, all becoming part of what is a growing problem. When we see international crimes, we have a history of acting, whether it's something like piracy or international child sexual exploitation. We've already passed laws that make it a crime for an Australian to engage in that activity anywhere on the planet. And really, what is different here? We say it's the same issue. We are seeing a gross human rights abuse. Australians engaged in grossly immoral, we say they should be illegal activities, taking gross advantage of people in poverty, people who are held against their will by political regimes that we wouldn't agree with, and taking their organs. Of course we should act. There's precedent for it. Law reform is part of the solution, but it's not the only solution. We have a fundamental problem in Australia that not enough people are signing up as organ donors. And that means people are often in desperate circumstances, waiting months or years, and often years, for a kidney or another organ to become available to them. And that puts them in this appalling situation of potentially dying or travelling overseas to obtain an organ. We need to understand those fundamental drivers, and we can fix that. Countries like Spain, other countries around the world, have very much raised their organ donation rates, basically provided the organs ethically locally by increasing the number of citizens who are willing to donate their organs and resolving the problem at its source. We need to adopt this two-pronged strategy: outlaw the activity, but also fix the problem at home. We first raised this issue in Parliament a number of years ago, and we've been trying to build the campaign, educate the MPs and educate the public. Well, there's clearly now enough information in the public domain, hopefully in MPs' minds, to make an informed decision. And that's why we want to act on this bill in 2016. Come November, we want to see a vote on this in Parliament, and all things going well, we want to see our laws changed. If you want to take action on this, there's a number of things that you can do. The first thing is you can share this video. Share it with your friends, put it on Facebook, talk about it with your own networks. But also, we need to change the minds of parliamentarians. If they think nobody cares about it, they won't act. So right now, you could email your MP. You could phone them up and make an appointment. Or if you've got the time, and really this is the best thing to do, knock on their door, go to their local office, tell them it matters to you, and ask them, will they support the bill in Parliament? And if not, why not?